Welcome back. This time we got a double header. It's the 69 world champion, Agata Sitko, who came in at 63 and change to make a statement. And then, of course, Karlina Tongotea. And, Karlina, you said in the interview that this was your second world title. And I was talking to Amelia, and we were both like, it feels like more world titles. Does it feel like that because of Sheffield and the battles?
It doesn't feel like it to me, but I feel like people think I've been around a lot longer than I have.
To me, I think it's because I saw you at Sheffield win the battle of the 76s. And I don't know. I don't know what it is. It feels like you've been in more battles. It just felt, when you said this is my second, I'm like, only two.
Yeah.
But you're battle tested, obviously.
Only two.
Right. Only two. Yeah. Well, it feels like,
you're like that.
Yeah. But how did you feel coming into this one?
I felt extremely prepared, and because of that, also extremely anxious, because I think now I get a little bit of what Agata speaks about when she has not done something that she planned to do because she put so much work. She's like training 7 days a week. Her life is the sport. And so for the last 3 months, I've sort of done that. And it just felt like so much more was on the line than ever before. I'd never felt so prepared, but also anxious about what if everything I did doesn't work out. I put so much work into it.
Why do you think this one in particular?
It's because I made the choice to drop my work hours. And so I reduced my work hours to just 2 days a week and increased training from 3 days a week to 5 days a week. And I can only do this for 6 months. I cannot afford to do this for any longer. But I just put everything that I possibly could into this world's prep. And it was a short turnaround trial because the first 6 weeks of it was really hard because going from 3 to 5 days, it was just like a shock to my body. So there was a transition period as well as a getting stronger period for the world champs.
And I mean, first off, it's remarkable that you'd achieved everything you did previously with only, you said, 3 days?
Yeah.
That's pretty crazy. But you're a doctor. Yes. I don't know if people know that. You're not, a cashier. Or God bless if anyone's a cashier watching. But yeah, it's not a small role.
Yeah, and I only really just thought about it in the last week because it was so normal. I did it for my whole entire career, powerlifting career. I see 90 patients a week and I train 3 days a week, and that's how it is. And that's how I got to the 16 at Sheffield. But just seeing what Agata's doing, I was like, I need to do more. I need to be able to give more to the sport if I want to even try to keep up. So I saw a 6-month window that I could give it a go. And so I'm halfway through it.
Frick. I mean, we'll get into it, but that was a titanic battle. You probably needed all 5 days. Can you imagine you weren't as prepped?
Yeah.
At least when you're there and it comes down to it and you are fighting for your last reps, you're like, all right, I'm as ready as I can be. I've pulled all stops. All right. How about you, Agata? So we initially talked a year ago, came up with a plan. We were both kind of like, hey, I think this is a good idea to win 3 world titles, maybe back-to-back Sheffields. And you took a side quest. And this side quest, I had no idea. You're damn near 63 kilos. You were 63 kilos point change. How did this idea come about?
So, how did it start? I think someone tagged me in a story telling that it would be crazy if I cut down even more after Sheffield and either did a comp at 63 or at least try to weigh in.
That was Karlina who told you to cut to 63. That was Italian. That was some Italian who reached out.
Or just try to weigh in as late as possible at the World Games and get some crazy GL points. And I started thinking about it. And at first I was yeah, there's really no comp I could do as a 63 that would fit in my timeline, because I'm doing Worlds at 69, World Games at 69, and then I go up for Worlds next year, because I just want to go to the 81st next year. And so I was like, okay, but I could try dropping down for the World Games and maybe try to get 10 times body weight. But then I also thought that I could do the Euro Muscle Show at 63. So yeah, I just started talking to Kedrick about it, talked with my coach, and they were like, okay, let's try to do it. So I just started cutting. Then it turned out that IPF won't be at this year's Euro Muscle Show, so the idea of dropping down to 63 was out of the picture completely. But I still wanted to try getting that 10 times body weight total.
And so when you had this idea, you couldn't become a 63 for Worlds because you were already locked in?
I could, but I did not think I would be this light by the time Worlds roll around.
Yeah.
Because I thought I would just like cut down to maybe 67 by the time Worlds roll around, and then just keep cutting afterwards. So I just did not expect I would weigh in this low.
And so the cut went way better than expected. Was it the weight just flying off? Is it like the reduced calories, the steps? Like, because obviously you retained a lot of strength.
Yeah, I don't know. Just
Like what did you total as a 76 last year at Worlds?
613,
And what did you total as a 63?
612.5.
Yeah, which is freaking crazy. Like it doesn't even make sense. And you said you didn't even feel good.
Yeah, I felt terrible. And honestly, yeah, my training total was 630. So I totaled less than in training, which doesn't happen often to me. I usually total more at comps. And yeah, just the water cut just didn't end up very well. The cut itself wasn't that bad. Like I was feeling normal all the time. The rehydration is what got me, because you have to check down a lot of liquids at once, and I think I just ate a little bit too much because I did not account for that, and I started getting those crazy stomach cramps. Like just couldn't find a position that wouldn't be painful, and yeah, so I imagine having to start squatting when you just can't even stand.
Oh, really? It was that bad?
Bracing against the belt.
Yeah, like no tightness at all. It just felt so bad.
It's crazy you did what you did, though. Like you were like so strong. You were as strong as you were at 76. It's crazy.
I mean, as strong as a 76 last year, because I've totaled more this year.
Right.
As a 69.
Yeah, for sure. You were operating on your own standards for sure. And Carlina, going into the World Championships, so you have an adversary you had already previously met, but in prep, she was definitely improved. Were you expecting an increased Crane and Warford? And we'll walk through the battle here, but was this what you expected, or you expected a good fight, but this turned into epic?
Yeah. I did think like she would hit the 600. I didn't pay attention to like any of her training or anything, but I had seen highlights of the nationals, and so I was like, yeah, 600 is definitely there. We did not anticipate the battle that happened, and I think squats just felt like a bit of a robbery on that one, to be honest, but we just had to roll with the punches on that one. So I felt like I was starting on a back foot with that one, and it turned into like, I'm here to take what's mine, from that to like, I need to stop them from taking this from me.
Leaving squats, and this happened last year as well. Looking at your squats last year, because in the booth, I was saying you were the bigger squatter, and leaving squats, you'll probably have to lead. And then Joe Whiteley, who was co-commentary, said, well, going off of last year and this year, it might not be the case. And because I think did she get higher in squats last year?
Yes,
she did.
220.
But then I was explaining that was a circumstantial situation. That probably, like I was trying to say, it probably won't happen again, yada, yada. But then leaving squats, frick, here we go again. It was, you were in the lead, but it was not a substantial one. Not a one that would indicate like you're both, if you both go into the gym, into the squat rack and just go to a max out, I think both you would say, yeah, okay, that's Carlina's event.
Yeah.
But in sports, things don't always roll out exactly like that. So you leave the squat. Are you aware how tight it is?
Oh yeah, yeah. I've never paid attention to a competitor before that competition. I was like, I'm gonna have to look at the scoreboard for this one because I'm pretty sure I'm only 2.5 kilos ahead, and yeah. So that was good though. It was some good motivation. I needed it. I needed that fire to keep me going. Yeah.
And she not only so you didn't get all your squats you wanted, but she also is definitely stronger. So then there's like
And squats? No, I think I was stronger.
No. I mean, she's stronger than she used to be.
Oh, she was stronger than last year?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
So
sorry.
there's two competing things going on. You didn't get the squats you wanted, but she also is getting stronger year over year.
Yes.
So then all of a sudden it's like, holy smokes, there's two things happening now. That is going to, it ends up making it better in the end. Because as a commentator and viewer, I can tell you right now, like if you win like the second pull, the third pull, you don't really need it. It's kind of like, this is better.
Yeah, I mean, that was the plan. That was actually the plan. We're like, win on the second.
And that's great for you. It's not great for the viewer. This was way better this way. But fair enough. Agata, you with the sorry, you're perfect time to grab some water. Shit. You in the squats. So we're gonna walk through squats together piece by piece. So you in the squats, Agata. You were the heavy favorite, despite being 63 kilos and change. And when you missed your second squat, I'm not going to lie, because I had seen you in the training hall, and I mean, I couldn't tell if you're strong, not strong, whatever, but you had mentioned, like, it's not comfortable. This isn't comfortable, at least. But it usually isn't comfortable. That's not too scary. But then when you hit the platform, when you missed your second, and it looked like strength, I remember saying, like, in the commentary, I don't know if you've seen the stream yet, something to the effect of, oh, wow, I haven't seen that before. This is Agata, for God's sake. Like, it was totally unexpected for us. What are you thinking and your coaches when that happened?
Yeah, I mean, totally unexpected to me as well, because 207.5 was originally going to be my opener. But after 197 that I did as my last planned warm-up, we immediately decided to drop it to 200 because it just didn't move very well. And yeah, I honestly have no idea what happened on that second squat, because I obviously got it on my third, and like with some kilos left. So it wasn't a strength thing. So I don't know. My coach said that I sank it very deep, so probably just didn't get as tight. But yeah, I was not expecting that, and I teared up a bit going off the platform because.
Did you really?
Yeah, because that was the moment I knew 10 times body weight would not happen, because I knew I needed at least 215 on squats for that. So I was like just so over this comp at that point. So we were debating not going out for my third, but yeah, I'm glad I did.
Oh, thank God you did.
Yeah.
I mean, you smoked your third.
Yeah, but yeah, it felt like strength to me as well. So we didn't think it was worth going out for my third at first. But yeah.
Yeah, fair enough. If you're like, look, I got buried. I go out there. It's not. I got the rest of the competition to look at. And like viewing it for a second, I thought, was that strength? Like it looked like strength.
Yeah.
I didn't see a technical breakdown.
It felt like strength.
Which is crazy. Do you think? Was that water cut? You were saying like bracing and feeling strong, feeling tight. Like, is it just because of that? You think?
Probably. I also just like got more fired up for my third. So that probably helped a little bit as well. But yeah, I honestly have no idea.
And you hit your third, you're right back to strong, like, oh, wow, well, she could have went up. Like, you shouldn't after the second, but you had strength to go up.
Yeah.
Yeah, so after squats, dicey, scary, but you're feeling confident, back on track, everything's going to be okay after your third squat?
I calculated what I needed to do in bench and deadlifts to still get that 10 times body weight. And thought, okay, let's just stick to it. Let's go. Let's see how it goes. And yeah, just needed 155 on bench and 273 kilo deadlift, which I thought would be tough at best.
Tough at
but,
best.
Nothing to lose. So I was like, okay, if everything goes to plan, we're just going to load it on my third and whatever happens, happens.
Yeah, fair enough. Okay, let's get into the bench press. So Carlina, the battle rages on. Let's walk through your benching.
It was fun. Bench was fun for me. I was like, yay, I feel strong on bench. We had like some little changes with bench technique because we've got to find kilos somewhere. So we're going to make changes to try and get better. And I think it paid off because, a 2.5 kilo PB, and it felt nice and smooth and strong. And hopefully that continues to build into World Games. But it was a good downtime just to sort of shrug off what happened with squats, get every kilo because I knew I needed every kilo. It's kind of, I know we have to make lifts, but when you really have to make lifts, it's just like, oh gosh, so anxiety provoking. So I had to put on some fun music and kind of just enjoy the moment.
And does it matter as well, the fact that she has the following she does, et cetera, does that pile on pressure knowing that there's more viewers in terms of the anxiety riddenness of it?
I didn't realize that until afterwards how much pull she had. I can't think because I haven't paid attention to anyone else through the prep. But yeah, I was just saying to Agata on the way here, my partner was watching the live stream chat and there was 79,000 people in the chat compared to 10,000 for the 93 battle, which was a huge battle.
Yeah.
And we're just that's all her.
Well, that's why it's great to have her in there, and for you to have an adversary and a rivalry with her just brings eyeballs onto you. It's only good for the sport. And I was wondering, it's probably for the best that you find out afterwards than during. Are you at this point paying attention to where she's at with bench press? Because her bench press also improved from previous.
Yeah. Just making sure I was going after her and getting all my lifts, making sure that I still gained some kilos on, and I gained 5 kilos on that one, which was good. But I also knew that her deadlift is very strong as well. And I think the good thing that came out of me not being able to push my squats the way that I know I could is that my back was saved for deadlift, so I had a lot more room than usual to pull.
Are you paying attention to Laura Motalet from France as well?
No, I wasn't, but she wasn't far behind at all.
She was not.
Yeah.
We'll get to that come the deadlifts, but her bench is absolutely huge. She was on fire on the squats and was very close. I can't remember the exact numbers, but by the time bench was over and you all started pulling, 5 kilos separated you and Cranen once deadlift started, but within around 5 kilos behind Cranen was Laura. And she was so close, and we'll talk about deadlifts in a minute. First, I'll talk to Agata about bench, but she was so close, in fact, that Team France was, we're not going to try to secure silver if Cranen tries to beat you and loses. They were so close, in fact, they were like, we're going to go for gold as well. It was a 3-way battle for gold. And sometimes when you're above Cranen, which you were, and she's behind, it'll force Team USA to have to consider, do we chase Karlina or do we fend silver? They were close enough, they're going to chase gold anyways. But at least it's a conversation. Apply pressure and make them be like, you could pull for gold, but you could fall off as silver. Yeah. The worst would be if you fall right off the podium.
Yeah.
That's perfect for you. Now you have to be like, do you want a medal at Worlds over? You make them have that conversation, but you need the rest of the world to help you out a little bit. Laura coming in could have been helping you like that, and in the end was like, nah, I'm coming at you as well. So I was wondering if you're like, shit, everybody's coming at me today.
It only felt like Cranen just because, I'm not used to paying attention to anyone, so I think I only had capacity to pay attention to one person. But like at the end of it, when I was hearing the totals, that was a great first showing for her in the open division. So yeah, she had a really good performance.
Yeah, coming in, it wasn't certainly the storyline. And you're saying this was like new for you to pay attention to any of your opponents. Why do you think you started paying attention this time?
I just think it was just such a different form of competition this year. Like in Malta, I think it was my first Worlds. I wasn't even used to just competing against people. Last year was just horrible, so I was like, I don't want to even know what's going on. So this year was just like, it just felt like that head to head, and I think, I had a lot of confidence, so I felt confident enough to look at what was going on and know what I needed to do to get the job done.
And we'll talk about in the end if you want to do that again and you regret looking, because you were saying right after, you're like, whoo, that was anxiety filled. But a little bit of anxiety also creates adrenaline. Yeah. And then that final pull was freaking epic. We'll get into deadlifts in a second, though. Agata, obviously bench press is your thing.
Yeah.
How were you feeling in the bench press for this?
So coming into this meet, I knew I wouldn't be attempting the world record this time because bench was just not going well in training because of the cut. So I just wanted to get 3 benches in, just get as much of it as possible. So we were planning to hit around 155, 157.5. And yeah, just it didn't feel as bad as squats. It also just didn't feel as good as it usually does. But the bench on the platform turned out to be very comfortable. So I got my third bench of 155 overturned, unfortunately. But I'm still happy I managed to bench this because there were points in my prep where I wasn't sure if I would even get 152.5. So yeah, that was okay. Nothing too crazy. Nothing too sad or too happy.
I mean, it's crazy. The numbers she says,
I know,
like, nothing too crazy. As a 63, like the other 63 is like, holy shit. I'm glad you're 63 and change. Are you paying attention to the other 69s at this point?
Yeah, I was looking at what Carola was doing because we knew she would be the biggest competition. Yeah.
Just in case. Like initially, no question, Agata's got this. Then on the second squat, it's like, okay, well, shit. Yeah. If she has one squat, and then Karlina, of course, broke the squat world record. And Karlina was strong. And Karlina isn't just anybody. 2-time or 2 weight class world champ, in and out of equipment, world games champ, legend. She breaks the squat world record. So leaving squats, you're like, oh, okay, I better keep an eye on her. And after bench press, are you feeling better? Because by the time deadlifts start rolling around, it's like, okay, Agata's back. Like Karlina's not going to catch her.
Honestly, I was looking at what she was doing during deadlifts because I didn't know, honestly.
Really? Yeah.
There was a point where I wasn't sure if I was even going to get my deadlift opener.
Holy smokes!
But we're going to get to
that
later.
I love this story. Settle down, Ryan. Settle down. Yeah. Okay, fair enough. So by the bench, you're still paying attention. And also should be said about Karlina, I think she finished 588.5. Yeah. She might get to 600 herself at 69 kilos.
Yeah, she was very strong yesterday.
Yesterday.
Thursday.
Or was it?
No.
Yeah. Okay, 2 days ago, yeah.
She was very strong, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, when you hit 600, I mean, you're the first. It was crazy as a 69-kilo lifter, but she's like 12 kilos away or a little less than 12 kilos. She 100% could get there at some point in her career, which is nuts. Yeah. Remember when you were the first 76 to get this? And it was crazy when you did it.
Yeah.
The sport's turning fast.
It's amazing. It's awesome. And especially for like Karlina to do it with such a legendary career that she's already had, to see that you can continue to get better and you can continue to get to that level. It's amazing.
She was a world champion in 2019. She beat Leah Bavo on Sam Calhoun and won the world title 2019. And here we are in 2025 and she's still pushing it. Yeah, phenomenal. So, Carlina, deadlifts roll around. Now, this is when things really get spicy. So you were full well aware what's going on. At the very least with craning, Laura will talk about, but that was that she really put her foot on the gas as well. And she actually, I'll be honest with you, I had people in my DM saying, because a lot of people were more people impressed by craning because obviously she pressed you. And right down to the last pull, and she had the last pull. But there are people in my DM saying, Laura might be next. Now, we'll get your impression about the future, what the future looks like, goals for you, your impression of these young ladies as well. But walk me through your deadlifts and how this story unfolded from your perspective.
Yeah. With the deadlifts, probably for one of the very few times my back felt like absolutely fine. And I was like, thank God, because I need my back. And so I was feeling like pretty confident. And also like when I was going, it was always the same weight, which I was really confused. So we opened similarly, and then they both took 245 for a second. And so I knew I was ahead, and then we're pulling the same weight, and I'm like, this doesn't make sense. What's happening? But I was extremely fired up. Like I just felt that like nobody's going to take this away from me. Like there's nothing you can do to take this away from me. You know, it's mine. And I just used that to fuel me the entire time. And I know like my deadlifts are not snappy deadlifts ever. They never look snappy, but I know that I'm just going to keep pulling and I'm not going to stop unless I pass out. And they honestly felt strong. I was like, that actually felt the strongest they've ever felt.
I could tell you as a commentator, did you see the live stream yet?
Not really. I've seen the last pull from people's stories.
It's funny you said like my deadlifts are never snappy.
Yeah.
And they're always like, they look difficult. And your session, for more context, was with obviously the 105s. And the 105s are crazy. Were you able to pay attention to what's going on there? Okay. So literally like multiple time world champion, 2-time world's best lifter, Anatoly bombs out on deadlifts. Coco Clement, like a Euros medalist, worlds several time over. Like this is Tongotea Clement, like Coco Clement, like from the Equipe, French Equipe, bombed out. People were missing their opening. People were missing like all over the place. It was like a bloodbath, and we were rattled. Like on there, like we were like couldn't tell what was going to happen next. So when you came out, and there was like a hint of a knee knock on you on your opener, and I'm like, and I go, hang on. I thought I saw something. Let's see the replay. And then I was like, okay. And I literally say on there, maybe the 105s just had me rattled because it was so crazy. And then your second, you look strong. I'm like, no, I think this is more like you're working, but we see it in the gym too when you do it as well. But context matters, because if you're in a session where it's a bloodbath, if you just look at you in a vacuum, that's one thing. You take it all in, you're like, holy shit, this is the wildest. The turnaround was crazy that day, and the reffing was very strict, as you had alluded to. And then when it all came down to your very last deadlift, so you were working on your second attempt. And this is definitely not easy breezy, but you always look like you're working. Yeah. But you can't tell, like, is this a normal day? Because it's not a normal day in the bigger scope for everybody, not just one other person. In the whole session, this was such a wild session if you watch it in its entirety, including the 105s. So when you come out for your third, you think the drama is rich. It's even richer for anyone viewing the live stream. Yeah. I'm just laying the table properly for you, because I know you're like, living through your perspective. When you come out for that third, as a viewer, oh my goodness. And to your point, you already know Team USA is a placeholder, and whatever they need to outpull and take the win, they're loading. Already set in stone, already going to happen. What are you feeling at this moment? You had talked about it briefly in the IPF interview, but this is one of those moments for you. This is gut check time for you. And it's queuing you up for a sports moment. But before you go out there, how does it feel for people who will never be in that situation?
Yeah. It was a really weird feeling. Like, I felt that there was no doubt. And it just felt like this was my moment. And I had like every confidence that I was going to make this lift and that lift was going to get me a world championship. I think when you are going into it to win a world championship, you have to think that way. And sometimes it doesn't work out for people, but that's just how I felt when it happened. And I knew that she would go after me. So I knew that even after I made this pull, it's not done. I can't jump up and down on the platform. I think that's why I kind of laughed at that video, because I was like, I look so mean. I just like stormed off the platform. Like usually I'm like, oh, thank you, everyone.
No, I think people understand though.
But it's because it wasn't over, and I was like, I just don't know yet. And so we had to wait. I didn't know about the reasoning behind choosing 255. I know now because, it would have forced them to go for 262, which from 245, it's a big ask, but, she's a good deadlifter. It's not impossible. Jess has done it before. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, that was a scary moment, waiting for that.
It's the unenviable situation of you have to go first. You have to pick something that'll overextend them, but not overextending yourself at the same time.
Yeah.
And how freaking hard is that to be like, well, I don't think she'll hit this number, but I better be damn sure I could hit mine. And hitting it in the gym or even hitting it previously is not the same as hitting it that day. Anything can happen. So you didn't necessarily, was there anxiety with this? Was there pressure with this walking out there?
No, I was honestly the whole time I was saying like, I'm a 2-time world champ. I'm a 2-time world champ. Like I just kept saying it over and over again. Like there was no room for doubt in that moment. I think that helped a lot. Like we didn't really train deadlifts. I pulled like maybe 3 heavies the whole 3 months.
Oh my gosh!
Because we were pushing squats so hard. So I was just
Ironically.
Yeah.
Because of the way the day panned out.
Yeah.
Wow. And okay, so you hit that deadlift, you storm off and you're full of steam, and you have to sit back and watch as US puts the obvious in there. And how is this to watch her pull this?
Yeah. I'm just like, because I'm like looking at Agata, who has been through this before and was like such an awesome sportsman and went out the front and was like cheering, and there was just no way I was going to do that.
Honestly, the next year when you were pulling for the win, I was not cheering.
You're like, nah, fuck that. I'm done. Let her miss.
Yeah, I was out back, and you cannot hide. I wanted her to miss.
Of course.
Obviously, I did. But I just kept saying, I did everything I could. And that's all I can do. I did everything I could. And if it's meant to be, it's meant to be. And it was, thank God.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, she came pretty flipping close. It was kind of nerve-wracking. And did you at that point at the end realize that Laura Matalin, in her final pull, she was trying to pull to beat what you had before you pulled your third, so it was going to force you have to hit your third. Were you aware of that by France?
No.
And that's where, as a viewer, when I first seen her put what she put in, I'm like, where does that put her again? And I had to take a look at the scoreboard and be like, oh, they're pulling for the win. They're close enough. They're going to force your hand. That final pull of yours was so flipping pivotal. When you look back at it, and if you look at the scoreboard and everything, if you compare this clash, this showdown, because you've had like Sheffield's the whole 9.
Yeah.
How do you compare this one?
Yeah, this one was a special one. Like I said, it's the first kind of like head to head that I felt. Like it was very close during it. It ended up not being that close because, their big Hail Marys didn't work out. But it was very stressful, but in a good way. Like I needed that stress to be able to do what I did.
I think so sometimes the scoreboard does not reflect how close it was. Like in the 83, Joey B in Omasakan from Great Britain. Did you guys see that one? Did you see that one by chance?
Some of it.
I went to sleep at 9 p.m.
Yeah.
Oh, well, you guys hadn't lifted yet, so fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough. So Joey B won by like 50 kilos. I don't know the exact. But Omasakin was loading up for the win. And it was a legitimate load. It was a load that like he missed it at the lockout. And so I asked Joey B, how close was this? And instead of saying, I beat him by 50 kilos, he said, an inch. That's a better barometer. Same with this one where people will be like, has Carlina been battle tested? Has she been in? And they'll look at the scoreboard and be like, wow, 595 to 612 and a half? Like, that's not that close. That's quite a bit of a butt. You were cruising.
But yeah.
And then, you were tested. Yeah, you were tested.
Yeah. Those are the risks. Those are the risks we take at Worlds, you know?
Yeah.
And sometimes they pay off. Sometimes they but not this time.
Not this one. I didn't get clapped this time. Fair enough. So this is 2. And would you say this is your proudest win due to the guts or battle anyways?
I think it's just a special one for the sake of like the battle that was had and the experience. I think, having had it be my third, just feeling a little bit more confident in paying more attention to what's happening around me. Your first Worlds, you're kind of just like zoned in and trying to get through. So this one, I wanted to just relish it a bit more.
What would you say is your proudest son?
I think it would always have to be the first one, I think.
Worlds or Sheffield?
Malta. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I had my family there. It was just, I couldn't ask for a better environment for it to happen in.
Okay, Agata. Let's talk about your deadlifts. What? So, walk us through this. How are you feeling first, second, and thirds?
So, after coming off bench, I thought I had 155 because, at first the commentator said that jury looked at it and they did not overturn it. So I was like, okay, let's go. I need to pull to 73. 10 kilos over my best ever deadlift, but it doesn't sound that crazy, We're just going to load it, whatever. Yeah. But then when they said that the jury have overturned my third bench, I was just kind of done. I didn't have any other goal for this meet, so there was nothing to hold on to keep me motivated. So I just started warming up for that and just I don't know. I just wanted to go home.
Let me ask you, at this point, because it's like you're playing a video game, but you're operating on God mode. Is winning world titles not? It's kind of
I mean, there wasn't a close battle, so I knew if I got my deadlift opener, then I would probably win already. So just checking that off that list. I don't really care about titles as much. I care about battles,
Yeah, but good luck though.
That's why I set that goal of 10 times body weight to have something.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I started warming up for that, and they were feeling all right, not bad, not amazing. And then I do my last warm up to 40, and I ripped my thumb pretty badly. And I started panicking because I'm how am I gonna pull my opener with a ripped thumb? I pull hook grip. What if it slips out? What
finally a challenge?
Yeah, finally a challenge.
Okay,
it got
good.
interesting. But we dropped my opener to 245 after that 240, and after that I realized that I ripped my thumb, so we couldn't drop it any lower because we already made the attempt.
Shit!
And I was okay, I'm not sure if I'm gonna get it. That was some emotions there. But I just put a tape on, and I don't really ever deadlift with tapes, so I wasn't sure if it would stay on or slip out. And I don't remember when was the last time I was going out this nervous to an attempt.
No kidding.
Yeah, really. But I was just okay, just hold it. I usually am pretty aggressive at the beginning. But I was just just grip the bar, don't pull too fast, just pull it off the floor and hold it. And it turned out well. And after that first pull, we were like, okay, we're just gonna see what Carola does. We won't go out for my second attempt. And
That's why.
yeah, at first I thought about not going out for my third at all because I just felt so bad and there was just nothing for me there, honestly. So we were just, we'll see what Carola does. If she pulls for the win and we have to like get it back, then we'll go for my third. But if we don't have to, then we will just not go out. But then I remembered that 255 would give me 4 times body weight, so we decided to put that for my third. Yeah, because I'm glad I did, because yeah, at least now I know that I can win the 76s as a 63.
Look at her. Well, the thing is, yeah, you're operating like it's nuts what you're doing, because you're winning world titles at literally like a 63. So that in and of itself should be a challenge. And it's not just nobody. It's freaking Karlina, who's multiple-time world champion, multiple weight classes as well. And you're a freaking 63. And then on body weight, you would have beat Carlina on body weight, I guess. But and then so for you, you're so far ahead of like everybody in powerlifting. And it feels like everybody 63 and up, you're probably going to leave Sunita alone, but I don't know.
We'll see. We'll see.
Sunita's watching this like, get the fuck out of here. This is enough. I can't stand for this.
I'm far away from that.
But you can't cut the 57.
I'm not cutting anymore. I'm
Yeah.
going up. Yeah.
So let's talk about the future challenges in the pathway. So you veered off. You got yourself the 69 kilo title, which you wanted. You were 63 and change. What's the next couple steps?
So I'm staying 69 for the World Games, and the plan for that meet is to just bump up the record by as much as possible. And yeah, just all the records there.
Alba says thank you. It is what it is. Yeah. And everybody for the future trying to go to Sheffield that needs 95% is like, shit. All right.
luck.
But anyways, yeah, good luck. All right.
Yeah, then 76 for Sheffield, because that will be like half of my bulk, probably. Yeah.
So how much will you weigh for that, do you think? By Sheffield.
I don't want to cut, so probably 77 at max. Just do a gut cut. And
So you're okay. You're going to be a whole nother animal by the time Sheffield rolls around.
yeah. I mean, if I manage to get to that body weight by that time, because that's 10 kilos would have to add.
mean,
so we'll see how the bulk goes.
Challenge accepted.
I mean, I could eat so much to get there, but would that be the best way to do it? No.
Right.
So we'll see,
Yeah.
we'll see. And then 84 for Worlds next year.
So what's your goal for Sheffield? As a 76, do you have numbers in mind? You like the big round numbers, or you like...
Not yet. Right now I'm thinking about the numbers for the World Games.
Okay.
Sheffield is just too far away for me right now.
How about that? Let me just throw this out there. You tell me. You don't have to like solidify, be like, that's the goal. But how about for Sheffield? Depending on how the body weight feels and where the strength levels are at, do you think it's a possibility to out-total the 84 kilo world record as a 76?
That's actually the plan for the World Games, to be honest.
For World Games?
Yeah, because judging by my training, I did 630 in the gym. And I think if I didn't do this water cut and had a good day, I would be able to total around 640 at this meet. So just need...
As a 63?
No, around 66, by the way. If I didn't do the water cut, that's what I'm saying. So yeah, if I'm gonna start bulking now and get back to around 69 for the World Games, then I think 8 kilos is possible.
Holy freaking smokes. If you keep going at people 2 weight classes up, so that's as a 69. I was shortchanging you by saying Sheffield 76. That's an insult. But at this point, so by the time you get to Sheffield, it's just like whatever. I guess you have a second go at it. If you don't get it at World Games, all right, let's see what happens at the 76, whatever. And then by the time you show down with Amanda Lawrence, that'll be a year from now.
Yeah.
And you'll be an 84. Do you ever plan on actually being 84 kilos, or will you always be 70 something?
If I don't need to, then I probably won't go a lot over 76.
Okay. And how confident are you about, because this Amanda Lawrence thing is intriguing. Obviously, Amanda Lawrence is lifting today.
Yeah.
Let me ask you, what do you think Amanda Lawrence totals today?
It's hard to say because she hasn't posted a whole lot this prep. She hasn't posted any deadlifts, so no idea what her deadlift is at, but I honestly don't expect her to go well over 645.
Yeah, like if I got $1 million on the table right now, and I told you over or under 645, which way you betting?
Under.
Under 645? What if I throw $1 million on the table for you? You could bet with it. You're like, oh, Ryan, come on.
I love Amanda. You know, you always got to put some faith in her. I would love to see her do over 645, but also I don't really know what her training has been going
Okay,
to.
so one of you guys is going to owe me $1 million, and I'll break even. That's good. Thank God. I got my lawyer in the room, but she's drafting the... Anyways. And how confident are you? Like, Amanda really needs to start moving her total. Her total's been around the same for quite some time.
Yeah.
What's your confidence levels of accomplishing a goal of being a 3-weight class world champion in achieving all of this?
I'm pretty confident about that, honestly. I mean, I hope me going up and like actually going up and being this close to her total will change something, and she will like start progressing because I want a battle, right? I don't want to come and have another easy win. So yeah, I hope that will change something, but I'm pretty confident.
If you out total her as a 69, I don't know if you're going to have a battle by the time you're 84.
We don't know what's going to happen, right?
Right.
You can never be 100% sure.
What happens if you move to 84 and you beat Amanda Lawrence? How old would you be by next Worlds?
That will be before my 24th birthday.
You'll be 23.
Yeah.
That's freaking ridiculous, by the way. So then what happens after that? Is it possibly afterwards, do you grab the microphone and say, Sonita, get ready. Like I know you love challenges. At this point, you're already, still as a junior, saying, man, winning open world titles isn't challenge enough. I have to damn near be a weight class below, etc. Well, are you still going to feel motivated, or?
That's what I'm worried about, honestly, because yeah, it's weird to just like come to a comp knowing that you will win, that you don't even need all your attempts, that you can come hitting 50 kilos below your best total and still win. It's just, it doesn't feel fun anymore, to be honest.
Really? I bet some people watch this and be like, fuck, that'd be amazing.
I mean, it feels amazing to know that I am the best, but it just doesn't feel as fun competing. You know what I mean?
Fair enough. Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know, but Sonita, it's 100 kilo difference. That feels a bit too much. But I'm probably gonna try going for a 700 kilo total or something.
That'd be, well, there you go.
Yeah.
Because if you're already, because you're 24, if you actually grow into the 84s, do you think if you win the 84 kilo title against Amanda Lawrence, you'll just stay there?
I will see what my total is, and I might go back down to get another shot at 10 times body weight because I haven't checked that off my list yet. So
Okay.
maybe I will go back down to the 69s at one point.
And try to do 690.
Yeah.
Or
So like
660 or
67 and 677.
Yeah.
We'll
You got
see.
options. Wow. Carlina, how about yourself? You had mentioned in the IPF interview we did, you're like, look at, you gave her roses, Cranen, and you said she'll win at some point in her career. I can't remember how old Cranen is. We'll say mid-20s. She's got a bright future anyways. And you gave her roses, very respectful towards her in the battle. Laura, I think, is fresh out the juniors, etc. What are your thoughts on your future? Are you, previously you're like, I'm staying 76. I want to be a 76. What does the future look like for you?
Yeah, I've learned like not to think too far in the future, because last year I was like, I'm going 84, and then I didn't, and then I was like, okay, I don't know what I'm going to end up doing. I know for World Games, obviously, I have to be 76, and I think that will I'll hopefully get the chance to have my squats do what they were meant to show up as. I think the strength was there last night. I just didn't have the opportunity to show it. And then going into Sheffield, honestly, I don't even know what's going to happen. I'm open to however I feel about 76 or 84. I just don't know what it's going to look like. I'm, hearing Agata's plans, it's like listening to like some like fairy tale that I'm like, this is real, but also like, what? Yeah. Like, I believe it, but like, how is this even happening? But I'm also very aware that like we live such different lives. Like this is my side hustle. My life's passion and my life's work is being a GP, and so that's going to have to take more time back soon. I can't give the time that I'm giving to powerlifting for much longer. I just cannot. But I'm going to do everything I can in these 6 months to do as much as I can, and see where it takes. And just take each comp as it comes. That's the plan. Yeah.
Do you think, because you, like, obviously, you're a doctor, this isn't a small career to walk away from. Some people walk away from certain careers, go all in with powerlifting, but that would, you went to freaking medical school, you're a freaking doctor. This is what every parent wants for their child. So are you like, look at, and you scaled back your practice and said, look, for 6 months, let me just push for 6 months and see what I might accomplish. And it reaped you a world title. Yeah. In a fantastic battle, an amazing sports moment that you'll carry with you for the rest. You had the moment that Agata craves. And this is what, like, when they make a sports documentary, they want to see this. They want to see, like, the drama and the, oh my God. And your nemesis on the other side, like sports nemesis, obviously, is, Cranen, who's a great personality, massive following, which just makes it even more intriguing. Yeah. If you were to follow both you, total opposite in your personal lives, and somewhat similar in terms of your styles of lifting, but still, like, it was perfect for that. So if nothing else, I know on one hand, how many more moments can you get out of this before it's over? Yeah. And on the other hand, you're like, I do have a career at stake here, and I can't keep doing 2 days a week forever. But so do you feel somewhat caught in the middle? And is there battle fatigue a little bit as well? Be like, oh my gosh, do I want to do this forever? And then when you go back to your normal life, you'll never have that high. Yeah. Like thousands of people watch, thousands of people commentating, there'll be millions who will see these clips and reliving these moments of people yelling at you and you yelling back. It comes down to your last pull. Yeah.
Yeah. It's something to think about, because like every competition I've been in has had that battle component in one way or another. It's never been easy. It's never come. It's always been a huge fight. And I guess that you could feel a bit of fatigue from that. But for the moment, like, I feel that I'm getting out what I set this 6 months aside for. And I'm just going to relish it while it's happening and take the next one as it comes. I got to that 616 doing what I was doing, working and training where I could. And I don't think that that's the limit, but I just think that I needed some extra push. So I think there's still more to be gained out of, the sort of limited training that I can do. So yeah. I'm not like taking my gloves off or anything. No. Well, this is it. And your plan is that, look, if I'm going to walk away, someone's got to take it from me. We use the term, like, in track, you pass the baton. It'll be like, if you want my title, I'm not putting the baton down and you guys go for it. You have to take it from me. Will it be that moment where you're like, all right, now I'll evaluate. Because it's difficult to walk away when you're the reigning world champion. I would love to pass the baton, to be honest. Like, I love watching the career of like Tia Claire Toomey, of Matt Fraser, of St. George Pierre, who like they went out on a high, they made the decision to do it, and you don't watch them struggle and feel sad for them. So I like the idea of going out on a high, and I don't know when that's going to happen, but that's how I'd want to do it.
Fair enough. Listen, ladies, we got to wrap this up. Tight schedule today, but super appreciate you guys coming in. Warford herself actually left today, asked if we could do it this morning, but I had to commentate. It's a tough schedule, but I appreciate you guys coming in. I know you didn't sleep much. I don't know how your stomach is feeling after all the cutting and everything, but are you all good right now?
Much better, yeah.
Okay, perfect. So very appreciative of you guys' time and always jumping in on these live podcasts, Zoom calls, whatever the heck. And everybody watching, we have Anthony McNaughton next. And I know we don't have a lot of shows left. 120s, Amanda Lawrence and Joey Flex on at 10 p.m. local time. I'm going to be exhausted, but it's a long week. It is what it is. But please do subscribe, give us high ratings as per usual. And until next time, 6-pack.